Okay. Hi, everyone. It is good to see you all on Microsoft team. So, without wasting a nanosecond, let me introduce myself briefly. I am a visiting assistant professor of technical and professional communication in the English department of University of Memphis. And my topic is reimagining AI expertise or digital dexterity or techno proficiency. My topic is associated with all these thread subtopic. With the arrival of ChatGPT, so many things are on the line. Actually, we have advantageous side as well as a disadvantageous side. So many critics of artificial intelligence chatbots argue that our creativity is on the decline. Our established pedagogical practices, such as process pedagogy and labor contract grading, are almost shattered to smithereens. For example, if an instructor wants to introduce labor contract grading, it might be futile and meaningless because with one click, our students can get any volume of draft. So, quantity can't become a basis for evaluating our students' performance. So, Asha, introduce labor contract grading in order to widen the scope of equity, to promote equity. He introduced this pedagogical practice, but with the arrival of ChatGPT, uh, it is very risky to apply this equity oriented pedagogical practice. For example, process pedagogy. Look, prior to ChatGPT, we used to require our students to practice focus free writing, non-focus free writing, pre-writing, brainstorming, looping, annotating, and journaling. But now what happens? Even to practice brainstorming, we can visit ChatGPT and place a short, carefully chosen and crafted prompt, and with one click, we can get a AI-generated content. And out of AI-generated content, we can cherry pick key ideas and can incorporate those ideas in our draft. So process pedagogy is almost in paralysis. It is totally emasculated by the affordances in AI. Similarly, students writes to their own languages. So this pedagogical approach is also almost passive. So AI started cloning human voice. So once a popular speaker in a document complained that AI is mimicking my voice. I'm very much unhappy. So with AI mimicking human tones, can McCrory pedagogy of authentic voice is also a question. So with these examples, what I want to say is that our established pedagogical approaches and strategies are already on the line. So, despite this downside, we have a lot of other advantageous sides as well. So, I want to talk about that positive and advantageous side. My take is that AI has given rise to a distributed model of authorship. So, look, I'm here reminded of what famous Internet of Things researchers said about the best technology. What is the best technology? The best technology is that which is invisible, which is almost forgotten. That means a popular, widely chosen, and universally applied technological tool is that which is so embedded in our life, which has so pervaded our life that we have almost forgotten it. We have almost neglected discussing about this. Look, ChatGPT is used everywhere. We started talking about ChatGPT at thousands of conference venues. ChatGPT has become the epicenter of scholarly discussion. Many papers are already published about affordances in AI. At universities, we talk about ChatGPT and other chatbots. In workplace writing, we freely use artificial intelligence chatbot to develop first draft. So it has become pervasive. We can see artificial intelligence being applied in every realm of human activity. So it has become so embedded that over time we may ignore it. It may become invisible. Oh, you look, artificial intelligence chatbots are everywhere. So why talk about this? So the best technology is that which becomes so commonplace that we almost forget it. And ChatGPT is just said to acquire this kind of identities. Look, artificial intelligence chatbots are being used by uh, all the writer, instructor, and students to generate content. So, in a way, it makes sense to argue that artificial intelligence has become an extension of human intelligence. It has become a part of a broader spectrum of authorship. So, I have, let me share my screen. Okay. I have a slide deck, some browse from my computer. Okay. Assignment prompt, desktop. Okay. Oh, yeah, look. So, my topic, reimagining expertise. So, what AI is not, this is the topic. So, my some of my points are listed here. AI technology is not an isolated tool. Many users of artificial intelligence argue that AI is just a kind of tool, but I totally disagree. I firmly agree with Yuval Noah Harari's claim that AI is not just a tool. It is endowed with its internal generative mechanism. It is set to acquire a sentient identity over time. So its status is more than just being a tool. So AI chatbots are nodes in extended cognitive system. AI and human intelligence interacting in a tech-mediated situation constitute authorship assemblies in which it becomes possible to externalize a human cognition. That is my assertion. AI is embedded in almost every excuse me activity of human being. Our search engines are AI powered. Google is AI powered. Microsoft Edge browser is AI powered. Adobe Creative Cloud is AI powered. With the one click, we can instantly get AI overview. So healthcare system is also AI powered. Learning management system is AI powered. AI has become pervasive. It has become embedded in every aspect of life. So it is going to be invisible. It has become so popular that it will become invisible. That means its footprint is so ubiquitous, and it means artificial intelligence being integrated into our generative system, cognitive ecosystems gives rise to a different notion of authorship. So another point, AI is embedded in almost every aspect of our life. The last point might strike you as awesome. Boundary between human expertise and machine contribution become increasingly porous because if we use DeepSeek R1 uh, or O1 AI research, we come to know that AI started pausing and writing in a metacognitive spirit and fashion. AI started producing a research document. So if we start using the latest version of artificial intelligence, we are surprised to see that AI has become not only generative, it has gone beyond being generative. It has already become metacognitive. So let me, oh yeah, let me show you another. I want to keep my presentation brief. I know that our schedule is tight. So another point is AI as an aggressive launch pad of a distributed model. So AI is embedded in our facet of in every facet of our system. It is an extension of our cognitive intelligence. For example, if we are stuck in the writer's blog, we can make use of artificial intelligence and crack open our writer's blog. Or if we are having trouble collecting some relevant and highly cited article, we can use ChatGPT as a resource locator. So it has become part of our cognitive system across people learning space, tech mediated learning environment, and AI powered system. Our cognitive abilities are not confined to our cerebral chambers. Our cognitive skills and forces are distributed across all the factors that go into constituting a tech mediated learning system. Our information acquisition, internalization, and retrieval process. With AI around us, humans' cognitive faculty of mind is set to get augmented. So, in every way, uh, artificial intelligence chatbots claim to augment our intelligence rather than supplant it. So, on the basis of two theoretical underpinnings, I came up with this notion of the distributed model of authorship. So, first is in her groundbreaking book, How We Became Post-Human, Virtual Bodies in Cybernetics, Literature and Informatics, N.K. Haley challenged the privileging of the autonomous rational human subject. She foregrounded a cybernetic view of subjectivity, one in which humans and intelligent machine co-produce meaning. So the co-production is not limited to one collaborating the other or AI automating the certain part of the generative process. Metacognitively, artificial intelligence can make intervention in the generative and creative process of human intelligence. So, okay, after that, let me. Okay. Second theoretical underpinning on the basis of which my claim is erected is Edwin Hutchins' notion of cognition. Edwin Hutchins, in his groundbreaking book, Cognition in the Wild, says cognition is distributed. Even prior to the arrival of artificial intelligence, cognition, the distributed nature was already theorized. And now, with the practical application of artificial intelligence, we obviously have a lot of evidence to buttress our claim. Space objects, tech mediated milieu, tools, technology, and operationalization of our cognition all constitute a distributed site of cognition. And in this spirit, it appears that AI has become an co-agent within a cognitive ecosystem. so, so another point, co-authorship assemblages. I'm not in a mode to keep replicating the same stereotypes made by previous philosophers about authorship. Friedrich Nietzsche declared the death of God, Roland Barthes declared the death of author, and Michel Foucault declared the death of man. With the growing application of artificial intelligence, authorship concept has become so sophisticated, so entangled, so messed up that we need a different angle to approach it, understand it, assimilate it, and apply it. So, my two key points I want to highlight are here. AI, human intelligence working together for better productivity in workplace writing has given rise to the notion of co-authorship co-authorship assemblage. I am here reminded of Ethan Mollick's grand ideas about artificial intelligence from his popular book, Co-Intelligence. In this book, Ethan Mollick says that it is good to allow technical documents, developers, and first year students to develop their first draft by using artificial intelligence. So, if students really suffer in the context of developing the rough draft, they can make use of artificial intelligence. Their first draft being developed with the help of artificial intelligence can become a part of brainstorming. And this point makes sense here. In this assembly, not only generation of ideas and content, but also the ability to curate, assess, refine machine output is equally important. So the new distributed model of authorship I'm talking about believes in the idea of analyzing artificial intelligence content by applying our human oversight. No matter how sophisticated content artificial intelligence generates, there might be some biases, prejudices, and cross-pollinating conspiracy theories. So human oversight continues to take priority. So no matter how excellently AI writes, the presence of human intelligence is needed. So what makes a human authorship relevant in the age of artificial intelligence is the power of human oversight. Human intelligence can regulate excellent content ethically, responsibly, and in a very safe and sound way. So here are some points. Now is the time to reconceptualize our understanding of authorship. So some character. Finally, I would like to talk about four characteristics of the sort of reconceptualized version of authorship I am dwelling on. So reconceptualized version of authorship believes in the growing role of network expertise. In an isolated condition, human intelligence can't perform at the top of its talent. Okay, and second, it believes in the dictum that we are homo promptus. Instead of puzzling our mind by practicing free writing, focus free writing, looping, we want to take the help of the art of prompting. We visit artificial intelligence search bar, we craft nice prompt, and with the help of the prompt, we want to get any any standard of content, any kind of content we need. Human beings are prompting animals. This belief has become the underlying principles of the distributed model of authorship. So we are all prompting animals. AI, like human writer, is embedded in our cognition activating system. To use AI is to is to activate our cognition fueling, cognition stimulating system. And last point is AI serves as an extension of human intelligence. It exists not to supplant human intelligence and creativity, but to augment it. So these are my ideas. So I don't want to take more time with this. I want to say I am done with my presentation. Thank you.